Welcome to the Strategic Program Market Outlook for 2020. Now, every season is different, and this season's no exception, as we've seen a decent rally since around the middle of harvest, so in early December to this week. The market has rallied anywhere from $15 to $20 a tonne, depending on what region you're in, for wheat and barley. And this has been driven largely on the back of increased demand, particularly from some feeders up north. You've obviously got a bit of a freight subsidy taking a part in the rally. You've also seen a bit of a lack of offers. We haven't seen a lot of grower engagement, and you've got some trade shorts in the market trying to buy grain. But you've also seen a rally offshore. And as you can see in these charts, the first one here is Melbourne APW wheat, and the below line is Chicago wheat futures. So that's the December wheat futures contract rolled into the nearby wheat futures contract, which is now March. As you can see, Chicago wheat has also rallied, which is supportive of our prices. And this has offered a little opportunity to either hedge old crop or start your hedging program for new crop to offset some risk if you are going to carry grain this year. Now, there are some opportunities as harvest winds up in Australia. The headers are still rolling in Western Vic, in parts of Eastern SA. And here to talk a little bit more about those opportunities is the Head of Strategy here at Market Check, Nick Crundle.
Thanks, Richard. I'll just touch very briefly on a few of the opportunities that we see going forward through 2020. One is, and you would have heard a lot about this, is the historically tight feed grain balance sheet that we've got in Australia after 3 consecutive below average crops. So there's not a lot of stock around relative to the amount of domestic and sort of inelastic export demand that we have. So that's the first thing that's going to keep our market pretty well supported. Secondly, we were looking at the sorghum crop this year for a potential to sort of ease the pressure on the feed grains balance sheet. That's obviously not going to be the case, and we're in line to produce one of the smallest crops we have in a very, very long time. So the sorghum crop's going to offer no reprieve from a domestic demand point of view. And also, as Richard mentioned, there's a few traders, exporters who have got themselves a bit short. So our export pace up until this point in time, so the last 3 months since the 2019-20 season has begun, has been very strong. So we've just got to be very careful about how much we export because we don't have a lot available to do so. And at the moment, we're running at quite a high pace. So if that continues, along with any sort of problems in the new crop in April, May, when we go into planting that, it's going to keep our market supported and even more so, sort of pretty positive territory relative to where we are now.
Okay, thanks, Nick. So look, the strategic program this year will be taking advantage of the rally in Chicago and hedging any grain, wheat or barley that we contract in, and looking to sell into any relative strength next year. And the team will be actively managing that for any participants throughout 2020 and capitalising on any of these opportunities that pop up. The program has been operating for 7 years now. As you can see, the returns have been very, very consistent and have outperformed many widely accepted benchmarks in the industry. The team here at Market Check, do everything they can to preserve the equity and protect the downside and try and maximise the returns for any of the growers that participate in that program. Market Check's a wholly independent company, so everything we do is for the benefit of the equity. And if you'd like to know any more about the strategic program, please just check out the fact sheet.